we are going to run a fireside chat with Clement from EasyParcel. And the topic we have today is leveling up the game, how last mile delivery will be different in Malaysia moving forward. Clement has been in EasyParcel for a couple of years, and today we're going to invite him to share a little bit about this last mile delivery, because we know during this MCO period, e-commerce is really one of these things that grows so fast. We see a lot of orders coming in for especially niche pharmacies, kind of like businesses, even F&B, food delivery, all this is increasing, and definitely last mile delivery is one of these very important part of these business in the whole supply chain logistics. So Clarence, why not we start by saying hi to everyone and give a quick introduction for yourself.
Hi, I'm Clement. So basically I'm a COO of EasyParcel, and I've been with EasyParcel since day one, 6 years back. So yeah, so basically this is a short introduction about me, and thanks for inviting me to this special event, and we are very honored for being invited as well.
So for the benefit for all our audience, right, would you introduce a little bit what is EasyParcel and what you guys do?
Okay, so basically EasyParcel is a company born in Malaysia. HQ was based in Penang, and EasyParcel itself is a courier platform. So it is not a courier company. I think some of the people, when they heard EasyParcel, they thought that EasyParcel is a courier service or a courier company. So EasyParcel do not have our own fleet. You don't see people wearing in pink running around collecting parcels and deliver parcels. So EasyParcel is acting as a aggregator platform. To keep it very easy to understand, I think you heard of Agoda, you heard of Booking.com. So those are for hotels and accommodations. So EasyParcel acts the same thing, but for courier services. So imagine if you have something to send from Penang to KL. So you don't know which courier you need to use, or which courier is better coverage, is cheaper price, or etc. So you can come to EasyParcel in a platform, putting the from and to location, and EasyParcel will recommend you couriers that are available for your services. All right, then you can choose from there based on our recommendation, or you can decide based on whichever you are comfortable with. Then you just choose and then you proceed with the delivery. So EasyParcel itself is not only handling on the recommendation part, but we also help you to book and also inform the courier to go over to your place to collect. So how it works is like when you book the selected courier, then we will also issue you the airway bill. So you can just print it out in black and white A4, then attach it with your parcel. We will tell the courier when to go and collect based on your requirement. And then if let's say there are any hiccups in between, or there are parcel losses, there are damages, you can just come to us and we will be your one point of contact against multiple courier. So this is a brief about what EasyParcel is.
So would you also kind of explain a little bit, why would a e-commerce user, let's say I'm a traditional business, I'm going on e-commerce, why should I use EasyParcel instead of go directly to say traditional logistic company?
There are a lot of reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of reason why, because for EasyParcel, let's say if you were to go direct with courier services like Postaju, Skynet, Nationwide, etc., you need to, first of all, the sign up process, you have to go to one by one, and then you have to sign up, open up account. Some of them may require deposits that you need to, pay a deposit and so on. And the sign up process probably will take slightly longer, as in like the salesperson will come and talk to you and open up account. You need to provide a lot of documentation. So this is the first part. So second part is that in e-commerce or traditional business, I think it is best to have multiple choices, not putting all your eggs into one basket. Take it for example, let's say there are My Cyber Sales, or there are Double 11. So if you say you put everything into one particular courier, then if that courier actually have a high load, high volume, service might delay and so on, your business will be basically affected. So imagine today, if you are with EasyParcel, you have multiple courier choices. So let's say you can load leverage on your volumes a little bit, give to Postaju, a little bit give to Skynet, or maybe even depends to their coverage area. Let's say if let's say Penang send to KL, Postaju is better, we give Postaju. Penang send to Kelantan, maybe is Skynet better, we give to Skynet. So you can actually load leverage whereby EasyParcel will actually recommend you based on your criteria which one is the best courier. Then of course, if you wanted to say about cost effectiveness, I think EasyParcel is also the choice where you can actually go with different couriers at different prices. So if let's say you stick to one courier, that courier charge you maybe Penang to KL is cheap, but when Penang to Sarawak maybe it's very expensive. So you have to stick to one because you have no choice. So I think there's a lot of the reason why a business, whether they are traditional or they are online business, they should use EasyParcel.
Nice. Thank you very much for explaining a little bit into how people can actually really leverage on EasyParcel. I'm a user as well, right? Sometimes even for our office, I mean, we don't do e-commerce, but we do a lot of courier and sending documents and all these things. So we also use EasyParcel in our office. So for our audience, if you are listening and you need to use a service, EasyParcel, you just Google search and then go to easyparcel.com and then you'll be able to get all this information. Well, so Clement, share with us a little bit during this MCO period how you guys are coping with being also I would say, although you are not directly the doing all this delivery, but I would say you guys are also kind of like considered as one of those people at the front line, right? How you guys coping with the business side?
So currently for EasyParcel at this stage, every one of us in EasyParcel itself, we are working from home. So I think first of all, the communications it's a big issue. It's a learning curve for I think everyone or majority of us who are working from home. Then aside from EasyParcel, I think we also have another sister company called Pigeon. They are the one that is running on the road right now. They are really the front line. So I think a lot of challenges such as I think one of the major challenges or things that we have even for our side as a EasyParcel end is that because the delivery area customers used to ship to offices. So right now a lot of offices have been closed. So there's a lot of failed attempts whereby customers wanted to change the delivery address back to their house. So a lot of address amendments, all these kind of things. And also there are also service interruptions or disruptions comparing to a usual business because the operation hours right now has been limited. Like you have to close by 8 p.m. So in terms of Pigeon and the sorting process, everything it is slightly they cut off earlier. So they have lesser time to sort. So there are more parcels, there are more backlogs. I think it happens to all courier services as well. So these are a few things. And then also throughout this process, I think we implement or we come up with a lot of different things such as like contactless delivery where there's no contact. Drop the parcel somewhere, you go and pick up. There's no airway bill, paperless airway bill. All these kind of things start to pop up throughout this period. So I think there's actually pro and cons as well. So I see it in a positive way that this thing happened and then it actually levitate the entire logistic ecosystem in Malaysia comparing to what we have last month, for example. So I think it's quite a good thing, a learning curve for everyone as well.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit about this. It's going to change a little bit in terms of this logistic industry in Malaysia because I definitely believe one of these things that we've been talking about when we are deciding the theme of why and how we want to do this event at for virtual conferences, that we believe that the customer behavior and the user behavior is going to change drastically after this. A lot of friends in e-commerce see at least double their sales revenue or the order volume is coming in. People are all online. They can't go anywhere. They're more adaptive to buying online. Can you share a little bit about this? How you see this moving forward in Malaysia in terms of like the changes that you mentioned? What from your industry? What do you see will happen moving forward?
Okay, let's take it for example. I will use China as an example. So previously in China, I think they have a outbreak of virus as well. So during that time, everyone has to pause. I mean, everyone was locked down, same like what we are going through right now. And that is when China's e-commerce started to boom after that,
Yeah.
whereby during the lockdown, a lot of people actually have to force to, go online, even sellers, even buyers, even old folks, all have to go online. So they have to start to adapt to all those online thing, e-commerce, tech stuff. That's how the entire ecosystem in China actually boom up after that. That's when Alibaba, Taobao, everything becomes so cheap. So I think for Malaysia, we are on that stage right now, where the initial stage that what China is happening previously. So I believe that down the road, although maybe we might not be as boom as China due to our population versus their population, but I think e-commerce itself will see a tremendous growth in this MCO period, or after this MCO period, as a lot of business actually came on board throughout these 2 weeks. 2 weeks plus. We see a lot of people who sell raw materials such as like fishes, raw fish, raw meat, vegetables. All these used to sell very offline. So right now they try to convert to online. I think if you go to Facebook, just join any group, you can see a lot of people are selling live fishes. I mean, live selling fishes, vegetables, and all this. So I think this behavior started to change. And also, one thing is like I can see that for buyer perspective, more and more people actually adapt into online purchases. Take it for example, my mom. She just bought like 500 ringgit over of fishes through the internet, through a live stream that day, and that surprised me, because all the while the only thing that she used for online is just scrolling Facebook, reading news. That's all. So right now she even know how to bid for the fishes, bid for those meat. So I think I can see a huge behavior changes within Malaysia, not only for youngsters but also for the senior citizens as well. So they are trying to adapt more. I think they have to at this stage. So throughout this entire process, I think EasyParcel itself, or those that targeting e-commerce users, I think they will see a huge growth in terms of like previously these are not our targeted customers. They are very offline. They are very traditional business. But because of this outbreak or pandemic, so all of them suddenly became it's also our target users as well. So I think this is what we see basically.
So a couple months back, I was also speaking with my friends who are also in this seafood delivery business. They one of the main issue that they were actually saying in Malaysia for challenge for growing, especially in grocers, like you say, raw meat, fish, and all these things, is really in terms of this infrastructure that wasn't really ready yet, because maybe the cold chain delivery was not really completed, or it's not really set up well in Malaysia yet. But what do you think about this thing? Is our infrastructure ready for all these things to happen and basically turn all this traditional business online?
I totally agree with you that the infrastructure is not ready previously. Even I think back then, only a few selected couriers they do provide coaching. Other than that, I think a lot of couriers they don't do that. I think after this MCO period, I think we can see a lot of changes, not only in Korea. Take it for example, those Grab, they are starting to deliver those groceries as well. I think Klook, they also launched their delivery of groceries as well. A lot of business start to change, or say kind of like adding additional value in terms of delivering groceries. So even for EasyParcel, I think our Pigeon as well, we also launched initiative throughout this period where we help the neighborhood stores to deliver their groceries to the neighborhood as well. So the reason why I think we've come up with this is because we noticed that there are two concerns. The first concern is that for seller end, the shop cannot be operating because there's no walk-in and so on. So their business is actually suffering. And then second point of view will be coming from the buyers. So for the buyers, they wanted to buy a grocery. The only place they can buy for Tesco, Giant, where you go there, you have to queue a very, very long queue because everyone is there as well. And also because there are so many people, the risk is also higher. So throughout these two considerations, I think Pigeon itself, we launched something called Pigeon Mart. I think we launched it like third day right now. So third or fourth day right now. So this Pigeon Mart itself, we actually try to get all those groceries to come on board as a seller. We will help them to create a store, everything, and there's no fee charge. There's no fee, nothing. Just pure initiative to help the sellers and also the buyers, so that they don't need to go out within the neighborhood. Then Pigeon will deliver their items to them once they purchase. So I think moving on forward, talking about delivering groceries, I think your friend will not have an issue right now because I think a lot of courier actually beef up their service level, or even they previously they don't cover grocery delivery. Right now they also do grocery delivery due to this pandemic.
It seems like I would say last mile logistic startups are all getting into these grocery delivery. I believe with different model. I think I see like Grab was trying to do that. Lorry was trying to do that. Even I think I saw Lazada or Shopee is going to do that. Can you what's your view on this part? Like moving forward, is it everybody is going to be a grocer mart online, become a marketplace, and how you guys are doing it differently from your side?
I think for our end, I think moving on, I think there should be a lot of grocery, but I think they will not like fully go on grocery itself. Take it for example, like you mentioned, Shopee, Lazada. I think the core will still be on their marketplace module, but on top of that, they could be adding in additional categories or new categories to deliver groceries. So I think that part is pretty okay. I mean, yeah. So for our side, we are not trying to compete with Lazada or Shopee or whoever it is. So basically, the intention that we have is to helping the neighborhood to deliver their items. That is the reason why we actually limit like the delivery is within the pickup area, like maybe 2 km of radius, or even down to the same delivery pickup postcode. So which means that if you pick up from this postcode, you can only deliver within this postcode or the neighborhood postcode. So let's say if you want to buy something from Penang to from mainland to Penang Island, it cannot be done because it's pretty far. And throughout this process, I think what we do is we wanted people to just stay at home. Then sellers, they have business continue running, they have income. Then we help them to deliver because we are not trying to get everything back to our hub. Then we line haul over to KL, then distribute. I think by then we probably might need to invest a lot of cold chain trucks and so on. So that will take a very long time. Probably by the time we get the trucks, I think the lockdown is already no more lockdown, right? So the MCO is over. So during this short period of time, we came up with this within 24 hours. That's what we can do to deliver, so that if let's say it's within the coverage, even if it's frozen, it can still be delivered to the customers at a frozen state when the item was delivered, because it's basically within 30 minutes the items will be delivered. So that's something different that we do, that we don't want to overpromise, like delivering from KL to Penang. Then after that, the thing comes here, then we are not ready. We don't have the cold chain trucks to store it and so on. So that takes a lot of tedious process. So that's the difference that what we are doing.
Yeah, which means you are kind of like also aggregating all these logistics last mile players within the neighborhood to actually do this delivery for all these mom and pop shops or traditional companies or grocers that is within the neighborhood, isn't it?
Potentially, yes, but currently, because at this stage, this initiative, we came out with an idea like 1 week ago, then we launched it within 24 hours. So at this stage, the areas, the delivery will be done by Pigeon itself, and also it is only within Pigeon coverage area. So means that it's in Penang, KL, Selangor, Johor, Melaka, and Ipoh. So these few states only. These few areas.
I presume for these few days when you are testing, you are doing it maybe in KL or Penang?
We are starting to kick off for KL and also Penang. Yep.
Yeah. When do you expect to roll it out across to, let's say, for all your coverage area?
Tentatively, the first week, I think we'll start with KL, Penang, then followed by Selangor, Johor, then Melaka and Ipoh. I think within this 2 week time, we are trying to launch the rest of the areas. Right now, we are actually getting more and more inquiries from the different states sellers that come to us. Some of the places that we don't cover, then sorry, we have to turn down at this stage. So those that we are covered, like Ipoh, we receive a few inquiries. So basically, our team will onboard them virtually or even pay them a visit if required. Then, to get all the information, then our side will set up the store for them, the individual store, then only list them into the Pigeon Mart directory listing. Yeah.
So Clement, I wanted to ask you on this question. So now we see all these companies, even traditional companies, are now all going online, going e-commerce, and we with this MCO, everybody are kind of like being forced to start buying online and start building up the behavior. What do you think is going to happen or change moving forward in this part? Is all these traditional companies are all going to just go on e-commerce, or e-commerce is just going to be like a small part after this MCO, and people will still go and buy in the shop, in the retail mall? What do you see happening on this part for the businesses?
I think businesses will still do. I mean, those traditional business, I think they will still do the same way. On top of having an online presence, they will still run the business as usual. But I think that's for sellers' perspective. For buyer perspective, I think the behavior change throughout this period might eventually cause additional lesser traffic for offline stores due to like people like my parents. After she bought the first 500 ringgit of fish, right now she tell me that, oh, next time I can just click and buy online. So easy, I don't have to go out. They deliver to my house already, and the fish is so fresh and so it's so worth. The value is great comparing to go out to the market and so on. So you can see that they have these mindset changes during this period. So I foresee that, business will still be run. It couldn't be that everyone have to go and log online and purchase. There are still people that is willingly to go offline and purchase. Even myself, if I say it's very nearby within my neighborhood, and it's not during MCO, I prefer to go and walk over and purchase offline as well. So offline will still works, but eventually online itself, the penetrations will be higher comparing to previous by quite significant, I would say.
Do you see it as an opportunity for like the business just to go online and maybe ditch all this retail side? Is that going to be a good way of to do that? Especially for you see a lot of businesses now that are coming out, right? Then we saw a lot of these live streams that's going on Facebook, right? Some of them don't really have a shop now. They have stores, they can sell, they can talk in front of camera. So and they're just starting to sell all these things online. Would you think this is going to be a threat to all these traditional players as well, when they are all doing just online purely?
I think it will somehow a little bit of threat because of the buyer behavior changes. But I think throughout this pandemic or MCO period, I think it actually fastened the process for the traditional business to go online. Previously, maybe they have to wait. The father maybe retired, then pass the business to the son. Then the son is very techy. He's a youngster, so he's trying to build the business, go online. So with this thing MCO happened, it actually fastened the entire process, keeping the process maybe cut earlier by 5 years and so on, so that the business can actually have to go online right now. So I think in the end of the day, it somehow will affect those that still reluctant to go online and remain to be offline. But of course, I'm not saying that they should ditch their offline business and then fully go online. It actually depends on the business itself, the product that they sell itself, and also their cost itself. So going online, probably if they can have a very good income or sales through online, then versus their investment of manpower, the brick and mortar rental, the electrical utility bills, I think if they were to compare, then there are significant difference in terms of the investment needed, required, comparing to online, then probably they might, trigger that, should I just, close my shop, then fully go online. But I wouldn't recommend everyone to, fully go online and then ditch their offline business lah. Yeah, at least not at this stage lah, not at this stage. Yeah.
What is it different for a company to plan their logistic and their supply chain when they are going online comparing when they are doing business traditionally an offline way? Is there special things that they normally need to know when they want to do it online? Say, in terms of packaging, because you were saying also, I see a lot increase in this thing. One of the things that pops up in my mind earlier was like, then are the packaging, all these boxes, carton boxes, are all these factories open? Can they get enough supplies, or are we able to do that? So, for a traditional business now that is going online, leveraging all this thing, going e-commerce, I believe the way how they brand, how they package a product, how they deliver to the end user is going to be different, or even be it B2B or B2C, right? So, what's the things that people need to really know in terms of planning this part? You have some advice?
I think for businesses who, I think B2B will not be a problem because they probably have the packaging, the boxes already. For B2C, for traditional business, I think something that they need to consider is to find the right packaging. Packaging not as in the product packaging, but the delivery packaging itself. Because I think before even they deliver to the customers, they should probably try a few parcels delivering to their own house, and then opening up and see what everything's still intact inside there. Otherwise, they probably need to improvise, add bubble wraps and additional foams to protect their products and so on. So comparing the previous, let's say if they were to sell, I think they were to sell those glasses, cups. I think if they don't wrap it properly, then by the time they go there, everything hanchor. So then there'll be a lot of hiccups. So this is the first thing. Secondly, talking about packaging, if let's say they are not looking towards boxes, I think the item size is within 2 kg kind of items. EasyParcel do provide free flyers, packaging flyers that they can actually insert into it. And then I think for their end, they just need to get some bubble wraps on their own, or you can buy from online and so on. Then just wrap the item and then put into the flyer itself that EasyParcel will give lah. So I think for those items that is within 2 kg, EasyParcel got you covered. For those people who need to send using a box, at this stage, probably we can provide you a few sources that you can actually get those boxes from. But EasyParcel, we do not send those boxes at this moment.
Got it. So, what are the common mistakes that people make? I mean, by hearing what you say, it seems to me like going online actually is going to incur a lot more cost for the business, especially when it comes to packaging this part.
It depends. I'll say it depends. It also depends because offline, probably you need to, you have additional costs like overhead costs. You have additional like utility costs, rental costs. All these, let's take for example, the rental cost itself. If you were to convert to packaging, I think it easily can stock up a lot of boxes for your packaging. Basically, it covers the entire thing. So I think cost-wise, in terms of going online, in terms of packaging, I think it's not an issue. But down to your questions, based on the common mistakes that people actually do when they go online, this is a very interesting question. Because throughout my journey, even myself, I'm running e-commerce myself. Throughout the entire journey, I think I noticed a lot of common mistakes that people who are offline, they go online, or they just started their shop. I split into 3 mistakes. So first, the most common mistake is people tend to spend too much time on their website in terms of design. So because it's something new, they wanted it to be very nice, very presenting. Then they wanted to design the website. Probably people will spend 1 month, 2 months. Some of them really actually spend 2 months just to design the website to become very perfect so that they can start launch the website. So for me, I think the most important thing is website. For me, functional. People can make payment. People can place order. Product is there. Then you launch it first. For design side, I think it's not that main concern for me because design thing you can add on later on. But first of all, you need to get your, you need to get some income first lah, in a different way. So try not to spend too much time, you know, designing your website. And in the traditional business, they have a lot of posters, sticking in their shop, in their walls, promoting this product, promoting that product. So when they go online, they apply the same concept. They put a lot of banners here and there, sidebar, footer, header, everything put banners. So when a buyer go in, it looks very confused. It looks very distractive. And then what you want them at the end of the day to do is just click the add to cart button or click the checkout button and then buy. So try to avoid having too much of distractions within the product page itself or even the main page itself. So this is the first advice. Second mistake, I think a lot of online sellers, when they go online, they lost the focus of their entire business. Because when you go online, you actually compete with a lot of other players, not only within your neighborhood. Right now, you're competing with the whole Malaysia, the entire world. So people will tend to see, hey, that particular product actually sells better, or that guy sells so much of that particular product. So should I change my business model to also sell that particular thing? So that's the first thing. Second thing, they also very concerned in terms of, wow, I'm selling the same thing with him, but he's selling cheaper. Should I actually go cheaper than that? Should I actually go lower than that? So at the end of the day, it will become a price war, and people tend to forget what are the values that they provide to the customers over the price in the first place. So this is something that second thing that I want to remind everyone. And the third one, I think the most important one, I think is the third one. Third one, I will say it will be the consistency and the persistence. A lot of people heard about going online can become very rich, can sell a lot online because of the traffic, because of the audience that you can get and so on. So they have a very high expectation when they go there. When they put their business online comparing to traditional. So the first day they go online, they go live, they are expecting that I have like 10 times sales of my offline traffic, but that doesn't happen. That is not the reality. So after 1 week, probably you don't have sales. After 1 month, probably you have your first sales. So that is when the business owner feels that I think online cannot it doesn't work. So I might as well just ditch online. I focus back in my traditional way of doing business. At least I have that particular sales or customers. So I think consistency and persistence is something that required if you go online. It doesn't come as in like you live your shop in 1 day. The first day you have 1,000 sales and so on. You have to slowly build. But when you go through the path of building it, I think over in the long run, online definitely will overtake your offline traffic or even sales. So these are the three things that I would like to advise to people who are going to try online at this stage lah. Sorry, I can't hear you because you're in mute.
Sorry. Okay. What do you think about drop shipping and also social seller that they're selling WeSang, they're selling on WeChat or Facebook or Instagram? It seems like this whole thing is all going on a rise. What did you see that from the logistic industry and from the last mile point of view?
So for Malaysia itself, I think for drop shipping, I think majority, I would say to be honest, majority of Malaysian sellers, I will call them as a traders, which means that they get products from China, then they will probably repack, or they even don't repack, they just resell to Malaysians. So I think I wouldn't consider that as a drop shipping because they still get the stock to them, they repack and everything. But I think comparing to let's compare to Taiwan. Taiwan itself, you hardly see traders. Majority of them, they come up with their own products. They spend time to design. They spend time to package it and market it. So comparing Malaysian to Taiwan, I think Malaysian we have a lot of traders, and that also eventually helps the entire logistic to entire ecosystem, e-commerce ecosystem, to move faster, because they don't need to spend a lot of time, find a product, plan a product, design a product, manufacture the product, and so on. But there are also pros and cons at the same time. That's the reason why you can see price war. There's a lot of price war happening in between. So talking about drop shipping, I think drop shipping, a lot of it for Malaysian drop shipping, I think it happens on other countries in the States. So Malaysian actually set up a lot of online stores in eBay, Amazon, and then they do drop ship, whereby they don't need to handle the physical stock. So the supplier from China will ship directly to US, for example. So this is something that have been running for, I think, almost 3 years right now. Very popular in the online world, that people are doing drop ship, then just ship directly from China to US and so on. Then they just earn the commission in between, or the markup in between. So this is something that I see, but a lot of successful drop shippers, the trend is that they will start off with drop ship. After they have a tremendous sales or customer base, then they will start to change the business model from drop ship to their own products. Even selling clothes, they will come up with their own brand. Even selling cups, they'll come up with their own brand. Selling watch, they'll come up with their own brand. So this is the trend that I see in terms of drop shippers. So drop shipping, I think, is a stepping stone for the users to feel how online actually works. And then, okay, because you don't have to keep a lot of SKU, you don't have to invest a lot. When there are sales, people pay you, only you go and buy. So it is kind of, I think, risk-free. For me, I think it's risk-free. And you don't get charged for listing your product on eBay and so on. You only get charged for certain marketplace or maybe certain place. Then if there are the transaction fees is only when you have a transaction. So if you don't have a transaction, basically you are totally risk-free, just investing your time and effort. So I think dropshipping is a stepping stone for a lot of people who actually goes online. Even for Malaysia, being a trader is a stepping stone for a lot of people who go online. So you hardly listen someone that I want to go online, I want to sell my own products, unless they have a family business or a background that they have been manufacturing this product. Then yes, they do. Otherwise, I think they usually become a trader, buy from China and then just sell.
Nice. We have a question here, and I wanted to remind all our participants in this session, if you have any questions, you can also type it out in the comment area. Clement's going to be still around after the session as well to answer some of these questions. So one of these questions that I have here is for B2B logistics in Malaysia, right? How is this digitization of their shipment going to happen along the line? Because we know B2B, maybe they don't have, they don't need to, it's not like B2C where you have large amount of orders that you need to do API connection with different platforms and stuff to automate all these things. How do you see this happening moving forward?
I think B2B moving forward, eventually, I think it will not be a lot of changes in terms of B2B. But talking about going online for B2B, for me, I can think of is a easier way for digitalizing. I won't say it e-commerce. I will say that converting the B2B business into digitalization, whereby they have more visibility of their B2B business and easier to manage. Probably right now in the traditional way, without going online or without going digital, they have to have a lot of manpower doing all the manual works like recording, doing sales recording, doing arrangement of this and that. And they don't have insights of their existing business. So by bringing the B2B business to digital or even to online, their suppliers, their resellers can actually buy from their online shop if they have one. Then also by turning the business into digital, you have a lot of benefits in terms of like data analytics of your entire business, not only on the business itself or the traffic that comes to your website, but in terms of the entire business. And online, I think there's a lot of business intelligence tools that you can leverage, such as like telling you which supplier is your VIP, which reseller is your VIP reseller, or which particular area you have majority of resellers buying from you. You have high orders. What kind of products that sell the most? You ship out the most. So from there, you can actually plan, and then okay, I should send my sales team to that particular city, that particular zone to get more resellers, to close more resellers, to convert more resellers. So a lot of things that you can do when you go digital or when you go online, comparing to offline method of doing a B2B. Then basically you do a handbook, then you just record whatever sales, but you don't know which state of reseller buy the most from you, which state you have the most resellers, what products that can sell the most, so that you can manufacture the next hot products. So for example, if you are manufacturing clothes, you have a jeans, you have a shoes, you have a jacket. You don't know which one is probably the best. Maybe you know, but it will be very, very manual, and you don't have a machine learning to forecast for you and so on. So by turning your business to digital, you have all this access, have all this business intelligence that you can actually leverage to help you forecast your business, forecast which products will be selling the best based on historical trend and so on. So I think this is the most valuable thing for a B2B to go online or go digital.
Yeah, so it's not just on the logistic part, but it's really the whole operations, the whole upside that can be optimized. I'm hearing, right? So before my last questions, for all the benefit of all our audience, today we are also going to do some of these cool offers from EasyParcel. I was just talking to Clement earlier if we can actually offer some of these very good deals to all our delegates and attendees for this conference. To thank you for coming in and tuning into this session. Maybe Clement, you want to announce what's the special deal that we are going to give out to all our audience here?
Okay, so basically, EasyParcel, it works in a top-up prepaid model. So similar like your DG prepaid card, your Maxis or Hotlink prepaid card. So as you use and then you top up. So for EasyParcel itself, right now we are doing a top-up promo. Like when you top up 500 with EasyParcel, you get additional 100 ringgit, which means that in total you get 600 ringgit when you top up 500. So this credit, it will last for 1 year. So after 1 year, what will happen if you didn't finish this credit? No worries, you can just top up additional 20 ringgit to move this entire pool of unutilized credit to another year, to extend for another year. So basically, EasyParcel, our intention is never to burn your money. We just want you to use. So that's the reason why, right now we are doing this top up 500, and then we give you additional 100 as a bonus. So this is to help you go on board and also help you to absorb a bit of your shipping costs, whereby this is actually converts to 20% additional savings for everyone out there. So for the promo code itself, I think, I will give it to Feng. Then he will add it into the offer page. So you just check out the offer page and you can get the promo code.
Nice. Thank you very much for this offer. So we're coming towards the end of this session, and my last question is this, right, Clement? Is there still chances in the last mile logistic industry? If I'm an entrepreneur, I want to start a business in this logistic, being a marketplace, seeing all these players, seeing all this challenge people are facing, seeing all these orders and all this, now with this MCO, more orders coming online. Do you think there is more chance in the logistic and last mile industry?
More chance as in a business opportunity in logistics, right? So I think there is. And for EasyParcel, in terms of EasyParcel perspective, we would love to see more and more, because the more the merrier, as we are the platform. So if let's say you are going to start your own logistic delivery company, remember to contact us so that you can get on board to EasyParcel as one of our listed courier companies as well. So throughout this time, I think like what you mentioned previously, just now, more and more volumes, and then because of the MCO, I think even after MCO, the volumes will be extremely higher comparing to previous, because of the behavioral change of the consumers. So I think there are always opportunities. I think to answer your question, there is opportunity, but there's also huge challenges, because during this time, you will see a lot of new, careers start to boom up, and it will be a very competitive business model. It will be a competitive industry at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's all for most of these questions from me. Before we end this session, Clement, is there anything that you want to add on to tell all our audience, participants, SME or e-commerce businesses, for any advice? If there's one more thing that you want to add, is there anything?
Not much, but I think basically for EasyParcel, our intention is to help and grow more SME, at least within the Malaysian region. So for EasyParcel itself, we are trying not to act only as a platform, but also an enabler to help the entire commerce ecosystem. So when I mention commerce, which means that even traditional, not only e-commerce, the entire commerce ecosystem in Malaysia. So by having our own sisters company, brother company like Pigeon, Easy Store, I think there's a lot of things that we can actually do through that two sisters company. Take it for example, like for Pigeon, we have a Pigeon Mart that helps the local sellers, local grocery sellers, neighborhood grocery sellers. And then for Easy Store, I think they have a POS system where you can help the offline to go online, online to go offline, to link the O2O experience. So I think for EasyParcel itself, in a group level, we actually, all the while, we wanted to help the entire commerce ecosystem. So let's say if you face any issues, you face any problems getting online, or you need advice, you can just look out for me, look out for us in EasyParcel. We are more than willing to help you, to connect you with different parties that suits your needs and so on. So yeah, feel free to let us know. Yeah. And it's totally free of charge.
Thank you very much, Clement, for coming into this session and sharing with us. The session topic is leveling up the game, how last mile delivery will be different in Malaysia moving forward, especially after the MCO. So thank you very much, Clement, for sharing, and thank you for the offer from EasyParcel. For all our audience, if you have any other questions, remember to type it out in the comment section. So later, Clement is going to be still around, and his team is going to be around to help answering some of these questions that we all have down here. So thank you very much, and we will see you at the next session. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.